Chartemis Prime, Chartemis Prime, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shits, Chartemis, subscribe, it's really like how the cracks and sculpted in there. Hey, what's up you guys, Chartemis Prime here, doing another Transformers review. This figure is so awesome that it has gotten serious, man. Oh my god. Okay, so Transformers masterpiece, Soundwave, MP-13. Thank you so much to the lovely Charlita One. This is my early Valentine's gift. Thanks so much, Amor. Oh my god. I am like the luckiest guy on the planet. I mean, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Amor, so much. I have been waiting for this figure to come out for years, man. Since 2008. Been staring at the KO huge Soundwave thing, about trying to figure out a way to get that to fit in with my masterpiece collection. But finally, Takara Tomy has made a wonderful piece. This thing is just a knockout bombshell of a figure, man. Incredible. I mean, it just so amazing in so many ways, man. Now, if you want to see the packaging, click the link below. I have an unboxing video there. Let's get on to the figure. Actually, let's get on to Laserbeak. I think it is genius what they've done with Laserbeak here. I mean, first off, Laserbeak does look very, very cool. I'll get a closer, tight shot of Laserbeak. But they've had it set up here so that you can actually plug Laserbeak into one of these slots that stick out right here, or those pegs. He has slots under his feet that go in perfectly over there. And on top of that, Soundwave has these clear notches that stick out of his forearm. You can see one right there. And he has another one on this arm right here. So you can actually plug Laserbeak onto his forearm. And I just think that is incredible. That is just too cool. That looks kind of weird at an angle like that. But that is freaking amazing. Absolutely love that. Look how badass this little guy is, man. Freaking cool. So awesome. I really like the silver paint here. You got the Decepticon logos on his wings. Very nice. Now, I really like what they've done with the face. You can see that they actually have painted the face, or his beak is a different color than the rest over here. So this is more of a gunmetal color. This is a solid black. His eyes are painted yellow. See, this piece right here is a silverish gunmetal color as well, and you could poke right here with your thumbnail, and he has his video camera, so you could spy on the Autobots. I like the sculpted detail and everything on his cheeks. I mean, it's very cartoon accurate. Very cool. I like the sculpted detail on the back of his jets, and these are all part of the figure too. So unlike the G1 where you have to take these apart and put them aside, these are part of the transformation, which is sick. I do have a little gripe with this guy. One of the first things I noticed is that he does have paint splotching. Like right here you can see some silver that's bled on here. They even got some detail underneath the wings and stuff. And he has a decent amount of articulation too. You can move his neck back like so, and you can move the head down and up. So if you want him like sticking all the way out like that, like how he's flying, you could do that. You can have him look down that far. And then the legs do the transformation. You can move the legs backwards, so you can have him really tilting up in that kind of a pose if you want him to, or you can have them move all the way at a 90-degree angle like so, and then you can get them to do that as well. And then the wings, they can move forward, and that's really just due to the transformation. They can move downward also, again due to the transformation. I just think that is very cool. But what's a trip is how small he actually is. Here's Laserbeak compared to Laserbeak. See, I mean, this is the G1 Laserbeak right here. See what I'm talking about with these pieces that come apart? I mean, you should already know this if you're really into Transformers, but, you know, in case you're not, you know, these just come off and you put them aside and then transform them to get them into cassette mode. So it does trip me out that he's really, you know, this guy's so small, but I'm not complaining at all or anything. And then to put them like this, you could really see, you know, size comparison like that. So, you know, no complaints or anything. I just didn't expect this figure to be so tiny, man. Now, his transformation, it's not crazy difficult, and it's not stupid simple either, so I like that. Oh, you can also move his ankles side to side, so I think that's cool, too. So you can... I don't know, he never really does that. But anyway, so part of the transformation is you tilt him all the way outward like so, and then you push the legs downward like so. And then what you want to do is take the wings and move them all the way forward. And then he has two hinges right here in the middle of the wings on both sides of the Decepticon logos, which came out very, very clean. And you're going to flap that down like that and do the same thing to this side as well. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take his jetpacks, and what you want to do is bend them first on the second hinge. So just like the wings, there's two hinges. There's a hinge right there, hinge right there. You want it to bend first over here on the top one without moving the flaps to the jetpack first. And then, see, I didn't really get it right. I'm so scared of breaking these things, man. And one gripe I do have with the Masterpiece line, and there you go, you can see how it goes right there, is that the paint does chip very easily. It's kind of like with Hot Toys too. It's like you really have to be careful with them. Then you have the two fins and you just push them in like that, and then his head just folds all the way back and it goes in, and there's the cassette. Very, very cool. I like this a lot. I'm actually holding it upside down, but that's how it's supposed to look. I think it's a very nice looking cassette. I'm really digging this. A little closer shot right there. You can see the dashes going on. You can see the little reel notches on the inside right there. Very cool. Again, I very much like the paint. There's no die cast on this guy. There is some die cast on Soundwave, just on his feet, which I think is perfect. I'm not really missing the die cast nowadays. I've gotten used to it now. You know, some people complain about it, but I'm cool with it. Like I said, the Decepticon logos came out very well. Then to compare him to the G1 Buzzsaw, I mean, they're the same size cassette. That is a trip. Look at that. They're the same size, man. They're the same exact size. That is such a trip. And then the thickness is the same too. I mean, you could even see through the spindles right there. Am I the only one who thought these were planets when they were a little kid? I mean, am I hella stupid or what? Probably, but for some reason I thought these were planets, but, you know, they are reels. You know, it's the actual tape inside there. I kind of wish they added that kind of detail on this, but I'm not really missing it too much, to be honest with you. Very, very cool. Now, another accessory, well, there's a ton of accessories that Soundwave comes with, and one of them is an actual cassette case for Laserbeak. So you can open this up, and actually this has a Transformers logo on it. Where is it? Ah, there it is. So you can see it says Transformers right there. Very, very nice. I dig that. And it's all nice and pink. I wish the Energon cube that Soundwave came with was this color instead, but oh well. You can see the two spikes right here sticking out, and then you could go ahead and place Laserbeak right inside. You want to put it in the other way. There it goes. Okay, so you want to make sure the silver part is sticking upward, and then it closes up nicely, and there you have it. Very, very, very cool. Now, one of the great features of this Soundwave is that he does have an eject button right here, and you can just push that down. That opens up, and you can take your Laserbeak out of the cassette case and just slip it right in there and close that up, and bam, there you go. Very, very cool. And sometimes it pops out right, and sometimes it doesn't. If it gets a little loose, then, you know, it doesn't have the same kind of tray holder as the G1 version did. The G1 Soundwave did have these things on the side that kind of helped keep it in place. Well, no, that one has it too, so I don't know why exactly. I think it's probably the depth of it. Now, one really cool feature of this is that you can fit multiple cassettes in here, which is awesome. I really like that a lot. It's very similar to the Fall of Cybertron Soundwave figure. If you'd seen that review, how you could like push on the back and they all fly out. Bam! Oh! Look at that! That's tight! Oh. Yeah, that was fun. Now, this has a similar function, but it's not exactly the same. So you want to hold this button right here, or actually you push the button downward so it shifts up and down on his back, and then you could push all the way in there. So I'm just sticking my finger all the way in there and then letting go of the button and then praying that it locks in, and you can see the depth there, how far that goes. Now, they will be releasing more of these cassette characters. We will see a Ravage, Rumble, Frenzy, and Buzzsaw. They'll come two in a pack, and I think that's going to run like $100 a piece. But what's really nice about these cassettes being the same size as the G1s, if you don't have them, you can actually fill up, you can fit 3 in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put Buzzsaw in there, And then we'll throw in G1 Laserbeak. Yeah. Throw in G1 Laserbeak, and then we have our masterpiece Laserbeak. And there you have all three cassettes in there. And then there's still a little bit of wiggle room, a little wiggle going on in there. Now, let's see if this works out right. There's Laserbeak. Take him out, and then push the button. And the other two just want to just fly right out of there. So maybe with the masterpiece versions they'll come out a little bit better, because see, I still have another notch. And I like the detail on the inside of this cassette thing. This is actually pretty damn nice. I'm digging that. Another cool accessory that Soundwave comes with is the display grid that you can attach to his chest. So you can see this right here, how it has the plastic end, or the clear plastic right over here. And you just pop this in the front like that, and then like in the G1 cartoon, you know, when he's talking about stuff, you could see, like, I don't know, images and everything that pop up right there. Very cool. I like it. When you touch it, it's very smooth, so you can't feel any of the grids on there at all. Oh, you could feel it on this side. Yeah. You can feel them there on this side. It would be nice if there's a way to like sneak a picture in between these screens, so that'd be kind of neat to do that. Soundwave also comes with this Energon Cube. Sorry to move it around so much, but yeah, that's the Energon Cube. Really wish it came in the same color as this thing. It would have been nice, but I've heard that there's going to be, you know, paper that you could put in there and stuff you could do with it. But so here's the Energon Cube. If you don't know, Soundwave can produce Energon Cubes. The reason why it is clear is that he does form just the cubes themselves, and then you have to put like the actual energy or Energon in them. So what he creates are clear Energon Cubes, and you could just, you know, take this edge piece right here and plug it into his chest, and there he goes, producing the Energon Cube. Very, very nice. I think that is badass. And Soundwave also comes with a small Megatron, which is very similar to the Megatron gun that came with MP-04 Optimus Prime. I think it also came with MP-01, I'm not 100% sure, but I have MP-04 Optimus Prime, and it is very similar. So here's the MP-04 version, and here's the MP-13 version, and yes, they are very similar, almost the same exact size. You can see that, just slight differences. The Soundwave version is a little bit on the brighter side as far as the silver goes, just slightly brighter. Darker Decepticon logo, that's got more of a pinkish kind of hue to it, I guess. The stock on Soundwaves is a little bit more cartoon accurate. This is very much G1 figure accurate, and the articulation is the same on both of them. You can move it upward, you can move it downward at this hinge right here, so it moves right there. You can move up right there. That's cool. You could also split this off, which I really can't do right now because it's very stiff and I don't want to mess up my finger or mess up my Megatron gun. You could slide this apart right here so it's easier for him to hold, which is a lot more stiff than it was on this version. It was very, very loose, you know. And then you can also remove the scope, so that is cool. The MP-04 version had a red dot right there. This has no such dot. Not a big deal, not complaining. One thing though that I wish they could have done was have made the plastic right here purple, because on the MP-04 version it's black, and I said purple but I meant gray or silver. Damn, I don't know words. I can't speak. So excited I can't speak, you guys, see? But you could just slide this right back on here, and there you go. So you have a mini masterpiece Megatron in case you missed out on the first one. And Soundwave does hold it very well. Like I said, you want to slide this apart right here, then you can move this hinge, move this around so you can give it clearance, and you can just niggle it on in there. Yeah, alright, and there you go, and there goes the finger. Damn it. That's probably one of my biggest gripes, is on his left hand, I keep having a problem with his index finger coming apart. So it's double hinged over there, and it keeps coming apart on me. You could easily put it back in, you know, but it still kind of sucks. It keeps coming apart, and it also stays stiff even though it does keep coming out. So it's not that bad, but it still kind of sucks because it can easily get lost, and you do not want to lose anything to this $180 figure. He has his sensor right here, which is very nice. Nice sculpting going on right there. Very much appreciated. Dig that. Looks very cool. Pretty nice. And then what you got to do is kind of partly transform Soundwave's left arm, which is the side that has the sensor, I believe. Pop this open, tuck this in, close that up, and plug the sensor in like so. So there you go. He's holding his blaster and he has his sensor. So this is very cool. I like that very much. And you can do the same thing on this side if you wish. Soundwave's blaster is very badass. Concussion blaster, I guess is what it's actually called. Very, very cool. Very reminiscent to the G1 version of it. I like it a lot. This doesn't fire out or anything like the G1. And, you know, on the cartoon, it was always kind of had a vertical thing going on right there. I really like the chrome on it. Very, very nice. Nice sculpted detail. Just the inside of the tip. Looks very nice. Just love looking at the details. Oh, and by the way, the plastic of this whole thing is very, very cool. You can see the shimmery, the little glittery in the plastic. I really like that a lot. But anyway, I'm going to take this out right here. You can see that it has these pegs sticking on the sides of it. And then the hands have these peg holes, these rectangular peg holes. And it's the same thing on the other side too. So it's not like you can only plug it in on one side. That would totally suck. Then you could transform this into the battery form by plugging this in right here and then shooting that in and then popping this in, and there you go, you have the battery. But it is kind of a pain in the ass to transform it into the gun mode, because, or the blaster mode anyway, because see, you take this out right here and then the tip kind of pops out, and then if your hands are slippery in any kind of way, it's kind of hard to grab that tip. But luckily I have a receipt for my comic books, and you can just grab it with a piece of paper and it'll come out like that, so it's not that big of a deal really. What a badass head sculpt. That is cool! Oh man, that looks so tight. I just love it, man. I love the red in there. It almost has a translucent look to it, but it's not. Very, very cool. There's this weird slight dent going on right there on the right side of his faceplate, but oh well. You know, I'm not going to cry over it too much. He's got that little bit of silver on his crest. Very cool, like the chrome right there on his eject button. See the little ridges on his eject button right there. Very, very nice. Just love this figure. Like the detail on his shoulder cannon. This is incredible. I love what they've done here. You can see the actual red spikes coming out. And this doesn't really come off, but you can, it's part of the transformation of the figure, which I'll show off more later when I get into the articulation. Very, very cool. I like the sculpt and paint added right there onto the shoulder. Very nice. The clear part of the cassette cover right there actually has sculpted detail like on the corners of that. That is very, very neat. They didn't have to do that. And I like that gunmetal look on the inside, which I had already showed. The Decepticon logo is very, very clean. Just love the metal look. The chrome right here, very, very nice. The edges of it seem to get worn out pretty fast. You can't really tell too much though. Now this figure is mistransformed. He is supposed to have his hinges showing. So the way it's actually supposed to look is like, oh, the other way, like this. So what I did is I turned it inward and then spun the joint around above the knees. So this is how it's actually supposed to look, but I just think it looks a little bit better not having the hinges shown. So all you got to do that is turn them inward and then rotate outward, and then there you go. So I just think it looks a little bit better like that. That's just my preference, but it does get tricky with the articulation, and you have to be very, very careful with it. You can still move it around just a little bit. It's just you may risk breaking your figure. So I don't know how bad I want to recommend it. It's just something I had to do because I think it looks cooler like that. But anyway, getting back into the detail, it's just very, very, very cool. When you rotate it like that, you can see on the side, this is like a flatter gray. I like how the shins came out. Feet are nice. These are die cast. I like that a lot. So his articulation is sweet. His head looks up that far. Very, very cool. And it moves downward. Very nice. So just moves downward just enough. Not a whole ton, but it's enough. I like that. Moves side to side very, very well. Now here's the shoulder cannon, which is great. Love all the detail back here. They didn't have to do that. Really, really like that a lot. But anyway, you can turn this side to side. So that is very, very cool. And you can have it go straight up. You can have it go that far back. And it has another joint at the end of it. So you can tilt it and it'll stick upwards like that. Which, you know, in my opinion, that looks kind of silly. I'm never going to have them displayed like that. But you can do it. So that's cool. Now his shoulders are awesome, man. I like what they've done here. Now due to the transformation, you can move it outward like that. but really I don't like seeing that gap right there. He has this hinge right here that moves outward. Again, nice detail in there when they didn't have to do it. I think that's great. So we got some detail in there. Also, we have a hinge right here on this inside part, so that's tight. He has a bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows. That is cool. I just dropped the sensor. And his wrists move side to side, which is very, very cool. He has individual finger articulation just for the index finger. So you can move that one, and you can have him pointing like that if you want to, and it bends right there as well. The rest of these fingers stay together and they just clamp inward. He has a very nice waist joint. I like that. Great range of motion there. You could actually do a full 360. Oh, even though I have a weird thing about doing that, I don't like that. His hips can move outward. You gotta be careful. You don't want to bend it right here, else it'll do that. But it bends outward like so, and it bends forward like so, which kind of looks weird to me. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of how that ends up looking, but it's not bad. It's really not bad, but it's cool. He has this above the knee swivel right here. He has a single jointed knee that bends at 90 degrees, and he has an ankle pivot. Look at that. But there's a bonus ankle pivot in there, man. You could actually separate it right here, and you can get even more movement in there if you want to. Like if you really want an extreme ankle pivot, you could still move it hella far like this, you know? And then even on this interior part right here, they added extra unnecessary detail. You could see pistons in there and stuff on the inside of his ankle. Okay, so standing properly, Soundwave stands just under, I want to say close to like 9.5 inches tall, almost 10 inches tall, something like that. So he's not short by any means. And here he is standing next to his grandfather, or the G1 counterpart, G1 Soundwave. And yeah, so he's considerably taller than G1 Soundwave, and very much darker than the original Soundwave too. But I can't remember off the top of my head. I think this is more cartoon accurate, so I'm digging it. And there he is standing next to the MP-10 Toys R Us exclusive Prime. Now, I always thought these two actually kind of looked similar, you know what I mean? Well, they do look similar, they have the same kind of features and everything, but you can see how much shorter he is than Prime. But now I'm going to show you the real comparison that we've all been waiting for. Ooh, yeah, now we got all the Masterpiece Decepticons in here. Check that out! Ooh, so sick! You can see how much darker Soundwave is than the Takara Thundercracker right here. Thank you, John 3.0. Oh, this is just too cool, man. Just too cool. And yes, I painted my Skywarp eyes red. So let's get on to the transformation, huh? Which isn't really hard, but it's not stupid simple, huh? Okay, Bumblebee, take us away. Oh no, did Bumblebee run out of batteries? Oh, there he goes. Alright, thank you, Bumblebee. So, we already have, well, I showed this piece right over here. What you're going to do is you're going to take the cannon and then just point it downward right there. So you're going to get the battery, and then I already showed you the transformation of this, and it has a notch right there, and or a slot in the notch. You know, you just stick it in. There it goes. Very nice. And then you could pull this piece back right here, and then rotate. Well, you don't have to rotate his head or anything, but you just tilt his head all the way back and put that in and fold this up like so. This is his sensor, which I'm going to put back where it belongs in his back, and his left fist is already transformed. Again, you just pop this open right here and then get his fist together and close that up, and then get his arms facing downward. He has these flaps in the back right here that you want to flip up. Just flip that one up, and then make sure they're clear to cover the batteries on each side. And then he has his waist that's actually supposed to be shifted back, so you want to make sure that's shifted back like so. And then you want to take his waist joint and tilt it around, and then tilt this like this, and then actually you want to get the this piece facing outward right here, so that you can take the ankle out. So I kind of skipped that step, but you tilt that all the way back, and then pull the ankle out, and then shift it around. So that's what I did. Fold it out, and then flap it downward, and then there's these notch thingies that stick out right here, and he's got holes at the tip of his foot, and then that all plugs in like so. And then what you do is, as you turn this upward, he has these buttons right here that work very much like the MP Prime, and that'll slide down as you press that in. And then there's these peg that sticks out right here and a slot right in there, and that all forms together nicely like so. And we do the same thing to the other side. So now that's done to both sides. I'm going to take this right here, and it's a double hinge, and you're going to fold that all the way up. You want to rotate this so it's sticking outward, and it's going to just go right into this piece, and it just tabs nicely in there. And do the same thing over here as well, and this all connects. Get these tabs together, and then he has some tabs right here. You want to make sure that the arms are plugged into. Show you in the directions. You can see a little slot right there. He has this back piece right here. You want to fold this, and then take these, fold those up, rotate them outward like so, and then shift that up so there's like a slidey dealy, and then put these down and kind of tuck them underneath the plastic right here. And then I did get a little bit of scrapage from doing that earlier on my Soundwave, but there it is, man. Very, very cool. I like this a lot. Very badass looking Soundwave. Just so cool. It's just one of those things where it's just kind of funny that it's just like this brick, you know? But it's just a badass looking brick. I really like it. You can see all this detail going on right here on the side. I love that. He has a volume knob that moves up once and down once. Not a whole lot of motion there, but it does move. He has this little piece right here that I think is an adapter of some kind. I did notice that if you plug his sensor out, you can take the end of the sensor and put it in there so it could like plug into the wall maybe. I don't know, probably not. Here's the back of it. Now it doesn't really make sense. The batteries are apart from each other, but you know what? I don't care. We have the function where you could fit all 3 cassettes in there, and that's basically why. On the G1 you could fit the 2 batteries inside his battery pack right here, so that's why it's like that. Then you have more detail and stuff on the side, which just looks fantastic. You have the on-off switch. Very, very cool. I like the colors right here. Looks very nice. The record bat. Then it looks like it could light up, you know what I mean, this little red dot, but it doesn't. And then here's the buttons, which you can actually push the rewind and forward. The record, stop, and play don't actually work. Of course, I just got to put Laserbeak inside there. Forgot which one was the masterpiece one. And then, oh yeah, very, very cool, man. Another neat thing with the top of this figure, you can see it actually has a headphone jack. And if you had some headphones, you can go ahead and plug it right in there. It doesn't go down all the way. Maybe it's for like a 16th inch, but you know, this is an 1/8 right here, and it goes in okay. It's like enough to fool around with it and pretend you're listening to music. And here he is compared to G1 Soundwave. So yeah, you can see he's considerably larger than G1 Soundwave. I absolutely love this figure, man. Just have so much fun with this figure, especially rocking out to it and everything. But yeah, totally recommend getting it. There may be an American version that's coming out that may be half the price, you know, like what they did with the MP Prime and all that. But damn it, I love Soundwave so much. I remember holding, when I was 5 years old, I remember holding the original Soundwave and thinking it was huge and just amazing, and then my cousin just ripped it out of my hand. So yeah, alright, well, I hope you guys liked my review, and I will catch you later, and thanks so much again to the lovely Charlita1. Catch you guys later, peace. Alright, that's enough.